Welcome back. For this week's Real Men Wear Gowns, we are talking about sports medicine, the importance of staying active but doing it in a healthy way without being injured. So let's talk with Dr. Andrew Hill, sports medicine physician with Franciscan Health in Plainfield and Mooresville. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So first off, let's talk about what exactly is sports medicine? How does it differ from traditional physical therapy, that type of thing?
Correct. So I would say sports medicine, like our main focus and kind of function is focusing on people's actual function and trying to optimize their movement patterns. And it can range from anyone, not only just, athletes on the baseball diamond or our runners. It can also be our older population trying to stay active, weekend warriors, play pickleball.
Not to stereotype here, but a lot of guys, as we get older, if we're not regularly active, we've kind of fallen behind on exercise. May have a tendency to say, you know what, I'm getting back on it. I'm going to get back on the horse or be that weekend warrior. I'm going to go hard.
Exactly.
What is your advice for people like that? How do you get back into it or get into physical activity if you've been inactive for a while?
I think the biggest thing there is to go slow. So I think, if you've been out for a long time, getting directly back into what you thought you were doing 10, 20 years ago does set you up for injury. So the biggest thing is you want to kind of progress back to those, activities in a gradual fashion. So, historically, if you were running 3-4 miles and, it's been multiple years since you've done that, start small. Start with, a half mile and kind of see how your body responds. Because, kind of going back too quickly definitely sets us up for, injury.
And along those same lines, how important is rest and recovery? How much activity is too much activity?
That's huge. That's where we kind of get at the whole cross-training kind of mentality, because we don't want to do the same things, over and over and over again, because that can start to kind of wear down, on our body, make us predisposed to, injury, tendinitis, those sorts of things, So from a running standpoint, it's not just, running every day. You want to factor in, lower impact activities like cycling, maybe elliptical, things in a pool to kind of give those weight-bearing, joints and bones a break. And we also can't forget about, the strengthening kind of component, I think our society, we need to do a lot more, lifting and kind of building that, muscle.
Not just cardio.
Not just cardio, exactly.
Any final advice for staying active and healthy, especially over these summer months?
Yeah, so for me, I think the biggest thing is kind of get into that routine. You can't fake preparation, so for me, I think it's that consistency. It's like brushing your teeth, I would say, just try to be as consistent as possible and find those hobbies that you love to do, because when you find enjoyment in those activities, that will keep you going.
And we've got so much more to talk about, so you can join us over on our streaming app, WTHR Plus, or WTHR.com/realmenweargowns for our extended conversation. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice of Dustin to hit the bench in there in the middle of the video.